Hey guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitars Already Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo, which is an awesome tune. For the basics of this song, you will just need a guitar in standard tuning and you'll need a capo on the 5th fret of your guitar. In this lesson, I'll teach you an easy strummed version of this song, but I'll also teach you some slightly more difficult finger-picked parts if you want to play something that's more close to the piano in the studio recording. Now, if you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarsalreadyhero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook, or if you want to improve on your guitar in general, then check out Guitars Already Hero Premium, which is my complete step-by-step guitar course. Alright, let's jump into the lesson. Okay, so I'm going to start by showing you the easiest way of playing the intro and verse, and then I'll show you a more complicated way using finger picking that sounds closer to the piano in the actual song. So for the most basic way of playing this intro and verse, it's just a 4-chord chord progression, really nice and easy. We're going to start with a C chord, and then we're going to go to an E7 chord, so it's the same as an E major, except we're going to lift our ring finger here, and you can just have that open 4th string. So we can strum all the strings there. And then we have an F chord, so you can play this in 2 different ways. You can use a full F bar chord like this, or you can play the F like this, and this is my preferred method because I think it's just easier transitioning back to the C. So I'll have my ring and pinky finger on the 3rd frets of the 5th and 4th string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd, index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd. So focus on those middle 4 strings, and ideally, if you can, use your thumb to reach over the top and hit the 1st fret of the 6th string. Although if you can't get that note, then that's okay. Just focus on the middle 4 strings. So that's the F chord that I prefer. And then our final chord is an F minor. So from the F chord, we're just going to lift our middle finger and your index finger is going to come up, and now it's going to bar across the 1st frets of the 3rd and 2nd string. Like that. So that's our F minor, or you could play a regular F minor bar chord like this as well. So those are our 4 chords. Now for the intro and verse, we're going to use a really nice and easy strumming pattern that is just 8 down strums at 8th notes. So it'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you'll play that once for each chord, and the easy intro and verse 1 will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Now in the second verse, the rhythm sort of picks up. So what we're going to do is actually strum at 16th notes with all down strums here. So what that means is we're now strumming 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And we're going to use the exact same chords, and that will sound like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. So that's a little bit fast. Now, if that is too fast for you, then you can just replace that with a down, up, 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 down, up instead. And that will sound like this. So that's the easy way of playing the second verse. So with that out of the way, I'll now teach you a more complicated way of playing the intro and the verses, which sounds closer to the piano in the studio recording. Now, of course, you don't have to learn these finger-picking versions of the intro and verse. If you want just the easy version, then just skip these sections and go straight to the chorus. So let's start with a nice way of finger-picking the intro. What we're going to do is we're going to start with our C chord. Now, for our finger-picking hand, we're going to use our thumb on the 5th string and our index and middle fingers on the 4th and 3rd string. So we're going to start by pinching the 5th and 4th strings together. And then on the 2 and 3 beat, I'm going to be plucking just the 4th string by itself. So 1 and 2 and 3. And then for our final little section here, we're going to go back to the bass note with our thumb. We're going to pluck the 4th string and hammer on from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret with our pinky finger. So we're going to keep our C chord shape, but just hammer on our pinky finger. And then the last pluck is on the open 3rd string. So that last little bit. And one more time. So the first bar in total. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And then for the second bar, we go to an E7, and we're going to start by pinching the 6th, 4th, and 3rd strings. We're going to pluck the 3rd string on the 2 and 3 beat, So 1, 2, and 3. And then our last little lick is similar to the last little lick in the first bar. We're going to start with the bass note, and then we're going to pluck the third string and hammer our ring finger onto the second fret of the third string, and then end by plucking the open second string with our ring finger. So that last little lick, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Then we're going to go to an easy F chord shape, so ring on the third fret of the fourth, middle finger on the second fret of the third, and index finger on the first fret of the second string. We're going to start by pinching the fourth and third strings, and then pluck just the third string by itself on the 2, 3, and 4 beat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we're going to go to an F minor. So just have your index finger go up to the first fret of the third string and keep your ring finger where it is. I'm going to start by pinching the fourth and third strings, and then we'll pluck that third string again on the 2 beat. On the 3 beat, we'll lift our index finger and hit the open third string, and then we'll end by plucking the fourth string on the 4 beat. So the final bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So that's the finger picked intro in total, which will sound like this. Okay, so next let's get to a finger picked verse 1. And we're going to use the same chords, so that's pretty simple. Our picking pattern is going to change a little bit though. So for our C chord, we're going to start with a pinch of the 5th and 4th strings, again with our thumb and index finger. And then on the end beat, we'll pluck the bass note by itself. So that's the first little section. So 1 and then our next little section is going to be the 4th string and then bass note. So 2 and we're going to keep repeating that for the rest of the bar. So all together, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we go to our E7, and the picking pattern is going to be similar, except our bass note will now be the open 6th string. So for the first little section, we're going to be pinching the 6th, 4th and 3rd strings and then going to the bass note. So that's the first little section. Now the next little section is 3rd string by itself and bass note. And then we repeat that for the rest of the bar. So all together, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... For the third bar, when we go to our F, it's basically the same as the first bar, except we're plucking the 4th and 3rd strings instead of the 5th and 4th strings. So that will just sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then when we go to our F minor for the final bar, we're going to start with the pinch of the 4th and 3rd strings, and then the bass note, and then we'll pluck the 3rd and 4th string. On the 3 beat, we'll lift our index finger and pluck the open 3rd string, and then on the 4 beat, just pluck the 4th string by itself. So this final bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and verse 1 in total will sound like this. 1 Next, I'll teach you how to play a finger-picked version of verse number 2. So we're using the same chords, we're now plucking at 16th notes. So we're going to start with our C chord, and we'll start with the pinch of the 5th and 4th string, and then we'll go to the bass note. So 1 E, and that's our little 2-note section. And for our next 2-note section, it's just going to be the 4th string and back to the bass note. And that 2-note sequence is just going to be repeated again and again for the rest of the bar at 16th notes. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and but it's played quite a lot faster than that, but just practice it slowly first. And then we're going to go to an E major. So it's not an E7 anymore. We're actually going to put our ring finger down on that 2nd fret of the 4th string, and we're just going to be alternating between the 6th and 4th strings. But the picking pattern's the same. So the first little chunk will be a pinch and then going to the bass note. So 1 E. And then for our next 2-note sequence, it's 4th string, and 6th string. And that's repeated again and again for the rest of the bar. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. For the third bar, it's basically the same as the first bar, except again, we're using an F chord shape, not the C chord shape. So that will sound like this. And for the 4th bar, we're just going to go to an F minor shape like this, and same picking pattern as the previous bar. So that's it for the second verse, which will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for the first chorus, we have 3 lines of chords. So we're going to start with a D minor, like this, and then we'll go to a G, a C, and then an E7. Then for the second line of chords, we have our F minor, C, and E7. For the third line of chords, we have an F and F minor, and those 2 chords are contained within the 1 bar. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then there's a break. So that final bar is just silence. Now for the first 2 lines of chords, we're just going to be strumming a really nice and easy strumming pattern that's similar to the easy verse and intro. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the first chorus will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 and. So that's it for chorus 1. Now in chorus 2, the rhythm is a little bit different. We're in double time now. So a strumming pattern that I like to use here in the second chorus is just a constant down, up, 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 down, up. So it's a 16th note strumming pattern. We're going to play that once for each chord, except for that third line of chords where we'll just strum each chord for 2 beats. So the second and third chorus will sound like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now let's take a look at the first break. So the first break is just played after the first chorus, and it's just the C chord strummed once and held out for a full bar. Now for the second break, which is played after the second chorus, it's 2 bars of the C chord, except our strumming pattern is going to go something like this. So for the first bar, we're just going to be doing all down strums at 16th notes. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. For the second bar, we're going to strum on the beat for 2 down strums, so 1 and 2 and then 4 down strums on the 3 and 4 end. So the second bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the total for the second break, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. After that second break, there's the bridge. So the bridge is really simple. We just have an F chord and an F minor. Now we're going to use the same down, up, 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 down, up strumming pattern. However, each chord is held out for half the amount of time as in the second chorus. So the point at which we'll change chords is on the 3 beat. So that will sound like this for the F to the F minor. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And then we'll do the same thing with the C to a G. So the bridge will sound like this. 1 E, 2 E, 3 E and a 4 E and a. that's just repeated through 3 times for the bridge. Then there's the final chorus, which we've already learnt, and then the outro, which is 3 bars of C here. Now the rhythm's going to go something like this. So for our first bar of the C, we're just strumming on the beat. So 4 down strums, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... For the second bar of the C, for the first half, we're going to be strumming at 8th notes. So 1 and 2 and... The second half of the bar is strummed at 16th notes. So 3 and a 4 and a... So that second bar altogether, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... And then the third bar is just strummed all at 16th notes. So 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... We put those 3 bars of C together and it will sound like this. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... And that's the end of the song. Now in terms of structure, there's the intro, verse 1, chorus 1, then the first break, then verse 2, chorus 2, the second break, and then there's the bridge, the final chorus, and then the outro. So pretty simple. So now I'll be doing 2 playthroughs of the song. This first playthrough will be with the finger-picked parts, and this second playthrough will be the easy strummed version. So just choose the playthrough that's more suitable for you. I'll also have a vocal track on top for some context. A big thanks to Charlotte June for lending her beautiful vocals to these playthroughs. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
Satisfaction asking how you do now. How's the castle built off people you pretend to care about? Just what you wanted. Look at you, cool guy, you got it. I see the parties and the diamonds sometimes when I close my eyes. 6 months of torture you sold to some forbidden paradise. I loved you truly. You've gotta laugh at this stupidity, 'cause I've made some real big mistakes. A goddamn vampire. And every girl I ever talked to told me you were bad news. You called them crazy. God, I hate the way I called them crazy too. You're so convincing. How do you lie without flinching? How do you lie? How do you lie? How do you lie? Mesmerizing, paralyzing, fucked up little thrill. Can't figure out just how you do it, and God knows I never will. One for me and not her. 'Cause girls your age know better. I've made some real big mistakes. You make the worst one look fine. I should have known it was strange that you only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you made me look so naive. The way you sold me for parts, you sunk it deep into me. Sucker, fame, like a goddamn vampire. Like a goddamn vampire.
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here. Or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.